It's a life-changing experience. It's very traumatic.
In 2003, John Green was a police officer in Spencer, Oklahoma, forced to use his weapon during a domestic abuse call.
Fired the weapon. He was struck one time, wound up collapsing. It went through him, hit his arm, knocked the knife out of his hand.
Immediately, Officer Green's supervisors demanded answers. Fortunately, he had attorney Doug Friesen ready to help.
I think it's essential to have a good lawyer there for you, especially Doug Friesen.
Officer Green was lucky he did not end up like Jerome Ursuline. Jerome Ursuline was a pharmacist in Oklahoma City who opened fire on two masked gunmen.
Ursuline was on trial for shooting would-be robber Antoine Parker in May of 2009.
The pharmacist convicted of murdering a teenager who tried to rob the drugstore where he worked is about to be sentenced.
2 years later, Jerome Ursuline found himself being hauled off to prison to serve a life sentence.
Defendant is guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Defense attorneys are almost unanimous that if Jerome Ursuline had a lawyer by his side after he fired those shots, he would be a free man today. Fact is, if you ever have to fire your weapon, the police are coming. When that happens, you have limited options at that time.
And they have two choices. They can tell their story to an attorney that can help them through it, or they can tell their story to a police officer who has to take down accurately what they say. But whatever they say the first couple times through, I can guarantee you is going to have little resemblance to what actually happened.
Doug Friesen is one of America's leading gun rights attorneys. An avid gun collector, he teaches concealed carry classes and has represented more than 25 use of deadly force cases. When it comes to your Second Amendment rights, he knows the law like no one else.
While the police officers are certainly not their enemies, the point is the police officers are there shortly after shots are fired, and shortly after that they're going to want to talk to this person. And this person is in shock and will remain in shock until they have time to tell their story to somebody, because that's the only way they're really going to unwind.
That is why Doug Friesen put together this program. For $500, you have Doug Friesen on standby, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, should you fire your weapon.
The risk is tremendous, because if you can't articulate the things right, and nobody can under stress, if you can't say the words that take this outside of a crime, you run the risk of being in jail for the rest of your life for doing something that was absolutely righteous.
You carry a gun because you need protection. But if you don't have the best lawyer available, ready to protect your rights, you are unprotected. Call Doug Friesen right now, 405-239-2722, 239-2722.